Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at eTrailer, and today we'll be taking a look at our Kuat NV 2.0 2-bike rack right here on our 2020 Audi SQ5. So the Kuat NV is a premium bike rack. It has pretty much everything you could ask for in a bike rack. You have a really good weight capacity of 60 pounds per bike, so if you want to carry electric bikes, you can do so. It has a front wheel mount. If you want to carry carbon fiber bikes, you can do so. It tilts away, it looks good, has a bike repair stand. We're going to take a look at all those different features in relation though to our vehicle right here, just to see if it's the right fit for you, your bicycles, and your car. The first feature I want to take a look at is the tilt away feature. So you're going to have a lever right over here, and what you're going to do is pull that lever. So notice how this just drops down to a tilt. And why would you tilt your bike rack away? Well, if you want to access your hatch without taking your bikes off, this is the way to do it. You can see how we have plenty of room between the door, our pedals, our handlebars, allowing us to reach into our trunk and grab whatever we need. So whether it's our helmets, our bags, our waters, we can grab them real quick without having to take our bikes off. And just like that, you lift up on the bike rack and it snaps into place, and now you are ready to hit the road again. This has a 60 pound per bike capacity. So if you have your heavier electric bikes, you can carry it with that. Just be mindful of the weight of the bike with the battery off. Also, the way our bike is mounted is going to be at 2 points. So we have a rear wheel strap holding down our rear wheel, and then we have a front wheel mount. So I really like pretty much any bike rack that has a front wheel mount, just because it makes it so much easier to carry your bikes around, put them up, and also it adds to the versatility of the bike rack. For example, I have a carbon fiber frame bike here. If I was using a bike rack with a traditional frame hook that comes down, I could probably or possibly warp or scratch my frame. With this, I don't have to worry about that since it's just holding it by that front wheel. But also, if you have other frames, let's say your women's bikes, your children's bikes, or your step-through frames, this makes it easier because then you don't have to get an adapter bar. Now looking over here at the back, we have that rear wheel strap. This is what we would remove when we want to take our bike off. So you press this lever and then you pull up on that strap. And what I like to do is I like to just lean it over to the side so it doesn't get caught up in our spokes. Then you go over here to the front of the bike and make sure to hold on to your bike as you press this button, lift this hook up, push this hook out, and from here you can take the bike off. If you have an extra heavy bike, I highly recommend getting the NV Axis ramp that goes to the side of the tray and allows you to ramp the bike off. Since this is a light bike, I'm just going to lift it off, and just like that, I'm ready to go on a bike ride. With the bike off, we get to take a closer look at the bike rack itself. So here in our tray, we have our rear cradle, and notice how this, or I guess our rear strap, this can move back and forth for your different bike wheelbases. The maximum wheelbase you can carry on the Kuat NV is going to be up to 48-inch long wheelbases. You have that strap that goes over. This secures that rear wheel. You also have an integrated cable lock on each and every tray. So this will go around your bike and secure it. Here we have the front wheel cradle. So notice how we have those different grooves on the inside. So whether you have your thinner tires or your fatter tires, this can carry that. One thing to note with that is if you have a fat tire bike, usually you can carry one 3-inch wide tire, one 5-inch wide tire. But if you want to carry two fat tire bikes, you're going to get a separate strap adapter for that. Other than that, we have that front wheel mount. I talked about how much I really like bike racks with front wheel mounts just because they secure that front wheel. This folds down just to be nice and compact. Anything mounted to your hitch is usually going to add some length to the back of your vehicle. So we're going to take some measurements just to see exactly how much the Kuat NV adds to the back of our Audi. So from the bumper to our bike repair stand, it sits at about 31 3/4 inches of length. You already have a compact SUV here, so you're not taking up that much space compared to other vehicles, but still, whenever you're backing into your garage or trying to park into a really tight spot, don't forget that you have a bike rack as well as bikes behind you. So I'm going to measure for ground clearance. That's going to measure from the end of the bike rack right here, and that's 21¼ inches. Now the shank is 12 inches from the ground. So ground clearance is important whenever you go up steep inclines like driveways and hills, because your front's going to go up, your back's going to go down. Now we actually have pretty good ground clearance on this vehicle, but notice how we still have that shank rise, so either way your bikes are going to be a bit higher up off the ground. But what if you're not planning on going out for a bike ride just yet, but you also don't want to take the bike rack off, especially since it's kind of a heavy bike rack? What you can do is just fold it up behind your vehicle. So you have a lever right over here that you used earlier. Pull that lever again, but this time push up, and then it folds up against your vehicle. So let's take some more measurements. The closest point is going to be between your bumper and your front wheel mount. So that's 3½ inches of clearance. Plenty of clearance there. Super sturdy bike rack, so it's not getting any closer than that. Now the length added to the back of our car in the folded up position, measuring where we measured earlier at the bumper. This tray sits at 7½ inches away, but does stick out a little bit further down here, and that's going to be about 13½ inches of length now added to the back of your car. Big difference compared to when this was folded down. You definitely want it in this position where you're just planning on driving around town and you're not planning on taking your bikes out. But what's it like living with a bike rack behind you? Well, with this folded up like this, notice how our rear window is completely visible, so you can still see out of your rear view mirror. Your taillights are also visible. You have that access to your bike repair stand right over here, so if something happens on the trail, you have to make a quick repair, you can do so with this. Our license plate though, and our backup camera. So our license plate sits right in the center of this bike rack. The backup camera sits right where our bike repair stand is. And this vehicle has a lot of parking assist features. So you have cameras all around, you have a bunch of different sensors. What may happen is those sensors may possibly go off, or you won't be able to see completely out of your rear view camera. If that's going to be a major issue for you, you know what you can do. You can very quickly just put this back down, and then it'll be sitting down below your vehicle. Then your license plate and your backup camera will be visible. What I have here is the Kuat NV 2.0 with a 2-inch hitch. That's because I have a 2-inch hitch receiver. So make sure you get the correct version for the correct hitch receiver size. This includes a hitch pin and a lock. So that lock is going to be key to the cable locks that you can find at the end of each of your trays. That way you only need to use one set of keys, or just one key, to access both your bikes and your bike rack. While you're using locks, while you're using keys, you don't have to use tools. It's a tool-free process. You just pop it into your hitch receiver, tighten it down with this knob, and then it extends a ball cam inside of your hitch receiver, creating an anti-rattle effect. So let's take a look at that. So as I shake our bike rack just to simulate that road sway and movement, notice how I'm really just moving the car at this point. That's because it's a secure fit between the bike rack and the hitch receiver. You're still going to experience some bumps on the road. Your bikes are still going to move around as your car moves around, but that makes for a smoother ride for your bikes overall because you don't get extra rattle from an improper fit. Here on our test course, we'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Once we get to the alternating speed bumps, we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or a pothole or driving over uneven pavement. Now lastly, we're going over some full speed bumps, and we can see here the up and down action, and this will just be like driving in and out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway. Now this bike rack comes in 2 colors, or I guess 3 colors if you get the version without the repair stand. What I have is the Kuat NV in gray that has these orange accents, but you can also get this in metallic black with silver accents. And if you want the Kuat NV base, that is matte black. Whichever option you get, they work the exact same way. They have that same great weight capacity and all those great features. So I personally am a huge fan of the Kuat NV. If you're okay with the premium price point, you do get those premium features, which I think are worth it. One thing I do recommend adding on though is if you do have extra heavy electric bikes, please get that access ramp. It's going to make it so much easier to bring those bikes up and down your vehicle, especially since you have that great shank rise. But other than that, it has everything you could ever ask for, all in one premium bike rack. Oh, you can also add on 2 of these platforms if you want to turn this into a 4 bike rack. Definitely an option if you have all of your friends, all your family, and you all want to go for a bike ride. But either way, this was a really quick look at the Kuat NV 2.0 2-bike platform rack here on our 2020 Audi SQ5. My name is Evangeline, and I hope you enjoyed the journey.